And once again, welcome to the Homeboy Sports Network, brought to you by Active. My man Mike Johnson, somewhere in Ohio, coming through with the crazy YO. What's up, Mike?
What up?
It's your boy Jose Gutierrez Jr., Lover J, the sportologist in the house. Let's begin the show, Mike. Let's start us off. What's the big news of the week in sports?
Man, listen, we would be remiss if we did not talk about Tiger Woods and the miraculous comeback to win the 83rd Masters, I believe it was? Whatever it was, he won it. And he won it in dramatic fashion. And it was as a sports fan, it was phenomenal to watch. I was glued on the edge of my seat for every hole on Sunday. And I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. What did you think?
Well, let me add this. I know you're one of the sportologists and commentators who had the pleasure of witnessing Tiger in the flesh and feeling the vibration of the audience, his peers and colleagues, and just feeling that electricity on the greens. For me, obviously my observations have not been that close, but over the years, I'm not surprised at this. And this is what I was expecting. I know he transformed the game into a more athletic game, but I never felt like, his injuries were debilitating to the point where he wouldn't come back and approach the Bears' records. I really think he can still be on the Bears' heels. So when I see this kind of victory, I look at this as a possibility where this could be a momentum swing for Tiger. He's a animal of confidence, and he needs confidence, and this is what will get you more confident than the Masters victory. So I just feel like this could be his final run, until he gets to his 50s. I really think that could happen, but that's what I take from this. What's your thought?
Yeah, so a couple things there that you mentioned. Yeah, I have seen Tiger up and close. Have the privilege of following Tiger for 18 holes at Jack's tournament at the Memorial, and it is a sight to behold, man. I can remember the time, I think he was down by 2 strokes or 3 strokes during that final run, and I don't know if you've ever heard a Tiger, it's named the Tiger Roar. I don't know if you've ever heard it before.
Never. Never.
Traditionally on the golf course, it's quiet, it's demure, and, it's a wine and cheese crowd. But when Tiger's playing and people are following, the galleries that Tiger gets, I mean, you've seen it on TV, and the galleries that he gets and the roars that he gets, it's not like anything else. You see the young players out there. You see a Rory McIlroy. You see a Jordan Spieth. You see a Brooks Koepka, all great golfers in there, right?
Right.
But they don't get roars like that. And Tiger's a 101. There is none for him, and there's going to be none after him. And man, it was phenomenal to watch. You mentioned that Tiger. You thought that it could always happen. I thought that he was going to win another one, and once he won, and I'm in agreement with you that once he won one, that he got his memory back on how to win a major again, and it escaped him for 11 years. But it wasn't looking too good the past 5, the past 5 or 6 years because of his,
hard to watch,
as you mentioned, because of his health. His back. He couldn't walk, admittedly so he couldn't walk. And, it was just a joy to see him come back like that. And, he mentioned that he couldn't even he couldn't play soccer with his kids. He didn't know if he was able to be upright. So to see him do all that and regain his winning confidence of a game, it's something he loves, man, and he loves it because it was taken away from him. And, the Thanksgiving incident, I think he had overcome that because after that, I don't know if you'll remember this or not, but after that Thanksgiving incident, he ended up becoming the number 1 golfer in the world, and I believe he won 6 or 7 tournaments.
What is the Thanksgiving incident you're talking about?
when Ellen Woods or Elaine Woods, whatever
beat
her
the
name is,
brakes off his vehicle. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Took the golf club to the Escalade.
Right.
Because he wasn't. I mean, you can say what you want to say about Tiger's. We all know what Tiger's golf game is, and it's second to none. But his Mac game and his women game.
Come on now.
He desired. He could have used some lessons. Let's just say.
You know how I feel about this, and I ain't wanted to dig all up in nobody's business, but since you're gonna lay it out like a platter, I gotta add on to that. I think his physical health was also complemented by that mental breakdown, because I think people like Tiger, he is not a Mac, and that's okay. Everybody ain't born that way. Not everybody's trained in the Macology that we know, but I think I had wished, I was like, why did he even get married? You know, and that's some people say that's too much of a commentary on somebody's personal life, but obviously not, because they ain't married now. And he seemed to perform better when he had, all of these luxuries that he probably never experienced in his life. And this is part of what professional sports and being in the spotlight of any industry allows people to have. And what I'm glad about is that didn't own him, even though he was obviously into the lifestyle he was in. He was just moving and grooving at that time. And he fell off that horse, but he got back up like his daddy taught him. And, I appreciate that, because I believe that's the real him, man. Stay with your essence, be the man you are, however that is, but, remember who you are. And I think that mental, what we were talking about in pre-production is the mental capacity he has. I believe he still has an edge over all the golfers.
Oh,
and
yeah, I think so, too.
I think some of the younger athletic golfers may have creeped on his athleticism, but I think his balance of the mental dexterity with it and wisdom with his athletic level that remains, I think that's enough to get him, keep him competitive and on the Bears' heels, on Jack Nicklaus's heels.
Yeah, and what they'll say is, be careful what you wish for, because they all like Tiger for a couple of reasons. First of all, because he was a great golfer. Second of all, he brought so much money into the tour, right? And so now everyone reaps the benefits, and they know how much he means to the game. But what they had never experienced before was they never experienced Tiger of yesteryear, the Tiger that everyone feared and revered on the court. So guys like Ernie Els, they know guys like Phil Mickelson. They've seen the real Tiger. These young cats had never seen it before, so they were never afraid of the Tiger. But I have to be careful what you wish for, because now I think you got, even though they can get past them, what he's done in this last major is he showed a calmness about himself, and he didn't rush. And, before Tiger had made so many mistakes not necessarily in his golf game, but also in his in his personal life, he had made so many mistakes, and in recent years that had translated into his golf game. Right. This time around, he was calm, he was collected, and I'll go as the final point, and to make my point about this was when, I don't know if you watched the entire majors, but it was on 12 where 4 of the last 5 golfers put it in the water, which is the famed Amen quarter, that short par 3. 4 of the final golfers put it in the water, and Tiger did not. He abstained from that. He said, nope, I've been here too many times. I know exactly what's going to happen. And he put it in the center of the green, just left of the hole for a 2-putt for par, whereas everyone else made it either a double or a bogey, and then you follow it up with the hole on, I believe it was 16, and that's where he won the tournament there. So he abstained from making the mistakes that he had done that you would see in his personal life. He didn't translate it over into his golf game on this particular day, and it showed up, and he got the victory. So man, I'm happy. I can't wait to see what next month brings for the Players Champ or the PGA Championship, and what the Open will bring and what the U.S. Open will bring. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'll be tuned in. I definitely will be tuned in.
That I know you shall. You'll have on a nice set of khakis with a nice crew shirt. And let me tell you what I take away from this victory for Tiger, I applaud it and I respect it. And it speaks to what Robert Greene describes as mastery. When we look at the people who are masters in their athletic field, the Pat Summits, the Gino Auriemmas, you look at Coach Cage, you look at Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, these people who are able to experience in high-stress situations, perform with that calmness you just described. And that speaks to the sports psychology factor for the young athletes listening. When coaches would say, 90% of the game is mental. And, we would hear that as athletes actively and be like, okay, coach, we believe you, but we didn't really know what that meant. And you get to see with the completion of a mission like Tiger Woods just displayed. So that's big in sports. I'm glad you brought that up. That's key and a headliner for our show this week. What do we got next on the menu, or anything else on that Tiger? Anything else you want to make?
No, that's it, man. Like I said, I can't wait. I'll be tuned in this summer to watch him, and I'm sure I won't be attending the memorial here in Columbus as I make it a yearly tradition.
This show is not about bragging, Mike. Okay, I'll be find me in the end zone at the Ohio State game when Michigan comes to town. Things like that, you just toss into the middle. Nobody needs to hear that. Nobody tuned in for that. What's next? What we got next?
We got these playoffs, man. These NBA playoffs is what we got next. Oh, and
we're done with college. We're on to the pro hardwood finals and playoffs. Let's go.
Yeah, so I'll be tuned. I mean, for the most part, these series have been somewhat predictable. It's not uncommon for Toronto to always lose the first playoff game at home, and they bounce back with a win. Boston looks like they're clicking against a depleted, overachieving Indiana team.
Sure.
We got Brooklyn, who obviously you can tell they're pups right now. They're losing to the more talented and deep and Philadelphia 76ers. And you got out in the which is surprising to me, two series that are surprising to me. Before we get into these two series, obviously you have Detroit and you have Milwaukee. That's almost a foregone conclusion right there without Detroit having its best player in Blake Griffin. But the two series that are surprising to me is that Denver is in a dogfight right now with San Antonio, which isn't much of a surprise when you take a look at Pop and what he can do.
That's all you got to say. That's all you need to say. You say that man's name, and I'm all right. I ain't surprised with any strategy being executed on the basketball court when you say that man's name. And that's that. That's all you got to say. Pop. I don't care who's on the court.
And then right now with the game that's coming up here shortly is this Golden State and Clipper game.
I told you about that. No, I told you.
As we all know, Golden State blew a 31-point lead. Patrick Beverly has been in the head of KD. He's been an irritant. It's that Patrick Beverly's something else, man. So we'll see what's going to happen tonight. I'm looking forward to this game.
You need somebody to bring the funk in a series like this. Now, this is what happened. I remember I watched live when Denver in the 5-game series opening playoff rounds in, I think, 93, when Denver came into Seattle, who should have won who should have been in the finals that year. They came through Dikembe, rest in peace, Bison Dele, Brian Williams. They came in with Robert Pack, Brian
Stiff.
That's right. And they played that same kind of funky attitude game, scrapping and banging. And, and I mentioned this to you, and I think we talked about this. You said you were pulling the Golden State out of the West, and I think you chose, who was out of the East? Boston, I believe. Who did you choose? Boston?
Yeah, I think it was Boston. It was either Boston or I can't remember. Does it matter?
No. Because on my team, during this playoff season, if I may just interject, the team I'm rooting for in the playoffs is still the Lakers. I'm still rooting for the Lakers this playoff season, just that they get, when we do the lottery picks, we get the first ball. That's all. That's all I have to root for.
That's about all we can do this season, unfortunately.
That's all we can do. But with the Clippers, to be real with the activity on the court,
maybe we'll root for Toronto to have a lackluster performance in the playoffs,
so we can recruit Kawhi back to LA. That would be nice.
Yeah, we'll put that. So do you think
we have no objectivity when it comes to
not when it
basketball?
comes to Lakers?
It's disgusting. Who can take us serious when it comes to the NBA?
Guys, not when it comes to the Lakers. I don't give a damn either.
It's so biased. There's no objectivity. I'm sorry.
That being said, do you think Golden State can suffer the defeat? Do you think they'll be complacent, or do you think at the end of the day it's just they're going to be an overachieving? Because which they were, the Clippers have been overachieving this season. Everyone pretty much counted them out.
I don't feel that way. I do not feel that way whatsoever with a coach like Doc Rivers, who is an excellent role-playing player and has become a great psychologist on the sideline with the players he commands. Now, look, if anybody was going to beat Golden State, I said the Clippers because of this rivalry they've developed in the last, 5 years. It's the competitive level of both of these California teams. I think the Clippers, just with attitude, I think I said that was what it would be. It's attitude alone. And I think I can't tell what Golden State will do. I think the results will show what kind of team they are. I can't predict what they will do, because I know what they can do. They have a great coach, champion coach and player as their coach, Steve Kerr. But you also have a commanding, very powerful set of personalities who play ball on Golden State. So I think they have it within them. I believe they have it within them to command and pull, victories out of this series and move on to the next round. But I think the Clippers, if anybody's going to beat Golden State, I really believe it will be the Los Angeles Clippers on a whim.
Over Houston.
Yeah, I think Houston can be. We can isolate. As a coach, from a coaching strategy perspective, you can isolate James and let him score 60, and do that every game if you want to. And I don't think they would win 4 games. I don't think so.
Wow, that's. I'm looking. Hopefully, we get to see that series next. Yeah, hopefully we get to see that series. I just think that at times we know that Golden State can look disinterested. And
that's right.
And a lot of times what ends up happening is, especially in the playoffs, especially in these series, there's a tendency to overreact. Now, blowing a 31-point lead to the 8th seed,
that's not an overreaction.
That's cause for overreaction and concern. But when a team loses a game, it's a tendency to overreact. I mean, granted, they were up 31 points, so you just don't get to be up by 31 points by accident. If they lose this game, there is cause for concern because of all of the things that will be going on for next year for the Warriors. There's a lot of free agency that's going to be going on. And speaking of which, have you seen that clip from 60 Minutes with the Clippers? Not the Clippers, I'm sorry, the Warriors were being interviewed. The starting 5 was being interviewed about their plans for next year.
No, what?
Oh, my God. Please do look it up. And
on
you
60 Minutes?
Say what?
On 60 Minutes?
On 60 Minutes, yeah. This is on last week's 60 Minutes. And if you've seen the clips talking about, it was Andre Iguodala. It was Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. It was Kevin Durant. And it was Steph Curry. And maybe Draymond Green was on there. I can't remember. And the reporter asked, or the interviewer, reporter, whatever you want to call it, asked a question about next year. And Andre Iguodala chimes in and says, hey, I wouldn't want to go anywhere else. This is the place I want to be. If I was recruit me right now, and man, you should have seen the look that KD looked. Klay Thompson looked as Klay Thompson looked down dead at the ground. and Kevin Durant looked over like he didn't want to be any parts of that conversation. So, man, that's very telling of where their heads are at for free agency next year. I think if you saw that, you'd be like, man, both them dudes are out of there. If you saw that,
Klay Thompson as well.
Klay Thompson as well, man. You like,
wow.
You talking to me? Yeah, man.
Where is he gonna go? I mean, I would only.
Who knows? I mean, chances are he'll probably stay there because he can get the most money there, and he likes it there. So that would be my guess.
I wonder what the looks are insinuating. I have to view what you're talking about.
Look at that, man. Please do look at that.
I will check it out. I think KD, you can beat Golden State because people aren't focused. KD's getting kicked out of games because he can't control his behavior on the court. That's the way to win. That's the way to beat Golden State.
Last point. Have you ever played? This is kind of what this reminds me of. Have you ever played basketball? And I'm sure we all have. People can attest to this. Where someone has an unorthodox style, or they have an ugly jump shot, or it just doesn't look effective to you because that's not the way that you're like, oh man, this dude ain't gonna be able to ball, man. And he has the most unorthodox, ugliest shot that you've ever seen, but it keeps going in, but you don't take it seriously.
Bill Cartwright, James Edwards.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on the play. We've all played with that dude before. That it's like, man, this dude right here, man, his shot is so ugly. You don't even respect it, or you know that you're so much better than that dude, and you don't even respect it, and so you don't take him that seriously. But that dude is taking it. He is serious as a heart attack,
right
out there, and you just don't take it seriously, and you end up getting beat. That's what KD against Patrick Beverley reminds me of. We all know KD's more talented, right? And he's a better scorer, and he's a foot taller than Patrick Beverley. But there's something about Patrick Beverley, man, that he's just like, it don't matter. He's faced all odds, and this is nothing new to him. And you can disrespect his play, or you can take him lightly if you at your own peril. At your own peril.
Well, you can't. Some people can't be punked. And that's a hard lesson for people who's spoiled. People who's
that little Haitian can't be punked. So.
Oh, is he Haitian?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Oh man, I know my Haitian people come from toughness, man. I mean, I don't know where he's from. Is he from the island or from Florida or what? But I know he don't play. I know he's in the face. He's in the face. Agitated. You need that. That's Dennis Rodman. That's we can go through some players who do. That's Gary Payton. That's the kind of person with talent who's also personality. And people are like, why don't you just play the game? This is how I play the game.
Yeah. It's the only way he knows how to play. So we'll monitor this situation with Golden State. This game's actually about to tip off now during our show.
Okay.
So we'll monitor that situation and find out exactly what's going to happen. I'm expecting the Warriors to win this game and then pull out the series, but it's going to be the series will be over in 6 is my prediction.
Attitude, baby. That's the secret to this series for the Clippers to win. Golden State needs to be composed and focus on this series and beating these guys because they can lose. I believe it. I love to see it.
I don't think they will. So I'll say updated prediction: Warriors in 6.
Okay. I'm going to go Warriors in 7. They have the edge in the final game. I think Clippers. I hope the Clippers give them more attitude. It makes things more interesting.
This will be disappointing if the Clippers win this, and I'll tell you why. From a Lakers standpoint, this is what could have been.
Oh man, I'm so done with us till we get Zion. Come on.
Oh, so man, KD may have 40. KD may have a 50 spot tonight, man.
He's gonna need one. All right, let's take our shift over here to the gridiron. You know, and even before we get to the pro gridiron, I know we were going to cover NFL, but what's that quarterback down there in Buckeye Land?
Oh, Justin Fields?
No, his competitor, Matthew, another quarterback.
Oh, God, I think I should know this. Dude, it transferred?
He's thinking about it. That's the whole thing here. This portal thing is very interesting to me. I'm not against it, and I can see where it would damage some athletic structure.
Tate Martell, is that who you're talking about?
No, he's been gone. There's another quarterback, and I'm trying.
Oh, he just left. Yeah, you're right. You just left. I did not. You would think I would have read up on that today, but I mean, it wasn't Justin Fields that was leaving, so it really didn't matter.
Well, it might matter because you know how injuries work. I mean,
yeah. I hope. I guess from what I did read, I can't remember the guy's name right now, but it was more of a homesickness than than anything it had to do with competition-wise. That's what they say. So, we won't know, but it didn't look like he was going to see the field this year or any substantial playing time.
But this is just the trend of inconsistency here and this type of behavior. What kind of reliability do you have in the program? And I think his name is Baldwin is his last name.
No, I think Matt Baldwin. I think
it was Matt Baldwin. Obviously you recruited him for a reason. So this is impactful. Ohio State doesn't just go to the bottom of the barrel for their athletes. So, what it says is even a player in development. There's something to touch on the subject. A player in development, they're not wasting time.
No.
They're not wasting time. They're not. And this is going to hurt some of these players, too, because you're going to be like, who just transferred somewhere with a Tate went to Miami. He's not guaranteed to play there. You got Kosi Perry there, who was
he's not guaranteed to play there at all.
Not at all. Like, and I thought about Justin Fields. I said, why wouldn't you go back home to Penn State where they need a quarterback? But he went and bumped Tate out of Ohio State. This is the kind of interesting dynamics that can flip the season on its head. So, just a quick note there, as that was breaking today, Matthew Baldwin. The portal remains open for some of these players. I love this portal. Get me out of here.
Look, man, if you got a chance to go somewhere and play, you only got 5 years in college. You got 5 if you redshirt or a injury redshirt. So you only got a finite amount of time. So I don't begrudge you guys. I don't begrudge you guys at all.
Not at all.
Wanting to leave if they're not, if they're not happy. I know you say, the old school wisdom is you go to a program and you stick to it and you give your word and you commit, man. But look, if you want to play, then you go play somewhere, man. If your dream is to play on Saturdays, then you play on Saturdays. And there's an opportunity for you to go somewhere and play, then you go play. If you're in a job somewhere, you don't stick around. Like if you're up for a promotion, like if there's another job that you have an opportunity to get a promotion or a higher salary, but you have given your word, I'm going to just stick it here, and there's no opportunity for me to grow. But I gave my word. You'd be a fool, man. And I think you were a fool if you stuck around. So the same thing applies here. And half the people listening to this show wouldn't stick around if they had a better opportunity. So I don't begrudge these kids at all.
No, the coaches don't stick around either. And what I like to look at is imbalance. Imbalance, not an imbalance, imbalance. Looking at that move might be your mistake. And there's coaches who have made this mistake of leaving places. Mike Price at my alma mater, Washington State, I think of coaches who left one situation that they thought would be better. Players do the same thing. As players, Barry Sanders' son left Stanford to go to Oklahoma State. That didn't quite pan out how it could have, how we had hoped for Barry Sanders' son. But fortunately, he's got a head on his shoulders and thinks about more than football. But this kind of thing, this is what you want to look out for, because I don't know what's going to happen with Tate. He's obviously talented. He's got that moxie that executives love to admire, but you're not guaranteed to play down there in South Florida, baby.
No, you're not. No, you're definitely not. So we shall see, man. Hopefully it does work out for him, and it works out for the Baldwin kid, and hopefully it works out like it worked out for your boy Kyler Murray. He was a transfer.
Gardner Minshew, yeah.
So it looks like Kyler Murray could be the number one pick of the NBA draft that's coming next Thursday.
NFL.
NFL. Yeah. So it looks like he'll be the number one draft pick. Who would you take, Jose?
Well, I believe are the Cardinals number one.
Cardinals are number one.
I'm going with. See, well, let me pause up, because I like Kyler Murray. I love Coach Cliff. I love Coach Kingsbury. I'm a Texas Tech guy, and followed them since Sonny Dykes was there. Since they had a long time ago, they were the 6 and 7 win team, in the 90s into the 2000s when Coach, brought them into 10 win seasons. Coach Leach, and so I've seen Cliff Kingsbury. I love his attitude. If he can stick around for 3 to 5 years, if he has a real plan there, I would take Kyler Murray. I love Josh Rosen, though. He's not anybody to blink at. What do you do? What do you do with him? I mean, you already had him for a year. Coach Kingsbury has no investment in him. The organization would swash him away like nothing, because that's what these kind of organizations do, is act like it's no big deal. And take Murray.
So when would you do this? So here's.
I know this was a long-winded answer. I would take Murray.
Okay.
New coach, new quarterback.
And you would get rid of. And you would you get rid of? Do you think you have to get rid of?
Rosen.
Yeah, Rosen.
No, you don't have to, but I'm one of the
would
coaches.
You? That's a better question. You don't have to.
I would, because Rosen's going to be unhappy because he actually deserves a competitive opportunity. He's good.
So
and he's going to be disgruntled if he's a real, he's going to look at Kyler Murray and be like, this guy's going to come in and start over me. I'm a 4-year UCLA starter. Do you see my tape? I'm not second to him. He's a different kind of quarterback than Murray, but he's definitely good. He's mature.
Yeah, so here's what begs the question. If you're an NFL GM, and if you can't get what you want, right? So here's the thing that you did do. You moved up last year in the draft to go get Josh Rosen, right? So you don't want to have egg on your face as a GM. And if you can't, I don't know what they gave up. I think they may have gave up a first and a second, or a second and a third. Whatever it is that they gave up, they're not going to be able to get back.
Right. That's out.
And so do you let him go for
trade?
Do you trade him? Yeah. Do you trade him for a second? Because you're only going to get pennies on the dollar at this point. Or do you keep him kind of similar to what the Redskins did a few years ago?
No.
Where they didn't keep, they drafted RG3.
And
they also drafted Kirk Cousins.
Right.
And so, and that kind of begs the question. That kind of begs the question: did you really invest all you could have in RG3? Because you already had him looking at over his shoulder, and you don't want to. So it just begs the question, because Kyler Murray's a small guy. He's not big in stature, and he could get hurt.
That's for certain. He could get hurt. That's why people are saying he should have took that baseball money. But since he didn't, if there is a 5-year commitment, that's what I would expect from Coach Kingsbury. If I can have a 5-year commitment with this quarterback and find a 6 to 8 year veteran to bring in behind him, I'll take him. Yeah, I would like to let. Go ahead.
And if I'm the owner of that team, that's exactly what I do. And some people say, and this argument always bugs me when you hear people talk about, well, you got to hurry up because you're on the clock. And who's on the clock? Is the GM on the clock? Who exactly is the coach on the clock? Those are the only people on the clock. Because if you're the owner, I'm the owner. Right. I'm never on the clock.
I'm not on the clock. I am the clock.
I am the clock. So if I'm the owner, I give that man what he wants. I give him his, hey, and a good owner would do this. You say you need 5 years to be successful. I will give you all the tools and all the things that you say that you need to be successful, and I won't impede that. I will help you. And that's what a good leader would do, and that's what a good owner would do.
Right.
It always baffles me when I hear, well, you got to put this guy in right away because you spent the first-round pick. That's a GM talking, and that's a head coach talking. If I'm the owner, I say, this is what you got. I'm here for the long haul, and my money ain't going nowhere, and neither is, nothing's going anywhere. So it's just funny when you always hear that. So when people put these draft picks on the clock, and you gotta play them right away. Don't play him if he ain't ready.
Well, that's what this period of time is for, and I agree. What this period of time is for is to do an evaluation, a mental, psychological maturity evaluation on Kyler Murray, and see if is this somebody we can toss into the fire as a rookie and build a special protection plan for him so he's just not thrown to the wolves like RG3 was, and so he has at least some security, like with a pass blocking running back in on 75% of pass play. Give him an extra additional, safety, just a safety balloon, something he can hold on to and be like, I know I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah,
so we're gonna do what we can to protect him, to guide him through this first year, let him learn. We get about 3 wins, maybe. That's not a disappointment for a rookie's learning season. This is a building process. So,
yeah, I think you'd be happy with your 3 wins. Okay, 6 wins would be phenomenal.
Right.
And 6 wins would be phenomenal. Now, so we got the number 1 pick squared away. You're going to pick Kyler Murray over everyone. Now, your San Francisco 49ers have the number 2 pick, and with that, you would select.
Wow.
Who would you select?
I'm gonna let you go first on that.
I think the consensus, the best player in the draft is Nick Bosa.
Okay. Talk about it.
But there's been some controversy of late with Nick Bosa about some of his past tweets that he's taken down about being pro-Trump, which I'm fine with, man. If you're pro-Trump, you're pro-Trump. If you like Teflon Don, then that's who you love, right? Have no qualms with that. But what I do have qualms with, and what I do have a problem with, is that you're not man enough to stick behind your words and your thoughts, man. And you would simply just be chased off. You would simply just be chased off because you didn't want the backlash of going into a progressive city like San Francisco. Obviously, he's had some negative tweets about Kaepernick. How beloved Kaepernick is loved in San Francisco. He's had some just crazy tweets about Beyonce, the Black Panther. I mean, just very tweets that had very sensitive racial. I don't want to say sensitive, but racial overtones to them. And I think, we're not stupid. We could see those. So, would you take him, or would you take the dude from Alabama, the defensive line? His name escapes me right now. We'll get him on.
I'm trying to remember as well. I got to get to my chart. But before I can get to my charts, the Bosa pick, is he? You're mentioning real factors that matter to me. I was raised with some conviction. I was raised to be able to stand and face being considered unpopular because of actual convictions and principles. And so I don't know what that's like to hide like that. I don't know. I wasn't taught that way. And I will not judge another person who is flexible to public opinion. It just tells me a bit about your character. In the same way, people would be like, it doesn't matter what he said about President Trump. So then you also have to take the same position when we talk about Colin Kaepernick, which a ton of people didn't. A ton of people punished him for his stance against police brutality and misconduct, not against police officers, but against those who abuse their authority. So he didn't waver. And so when I see other people waver and people want to make an exception for it, the one part about it I do respect is Bosa is a young man. So I'll never, I'm incapable of really judging other people, and a young person is still developing their persona, who they want to be, who they want to become. So I don't really respect that action, but I'm not going to judge him for it. And if he's a person with a good head on their shoulders and shows potential for growth, yeah, I'm going to pick him up because we're going to mentor a young man like that. We're going to mentor the young men and women in our organization. And if he's willing to be mentored, yeah, we're going to draft him because he's a good ball player. If he's showing signs that he's stuck in his way or he's adamant about being closed-minded, that permeates through your whole life. So you're going to be closed-minded as a ball player, too, at some point. You're going to think you know it all at some point. And these are just some of the evaluations, that I do. And so based on those particular judgments and assessments, that's how I would choose. As a ball player, everybody believes in him. They think he's the best. If that's a factual statement, testing out, I'd take him.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it firsthand. He's definitely a difference maker. I mean, he will get the quarterback on the ground, and he will stuff the run. He will wreak havoc on the defense. He will wreak havoc on that offensive line. So
this is another one of your sideline observations, right?
Yeah.
Like you weren't all watching it from TV like me. You got to see him in the flesh, right?
Well, it was up close and personal.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah, two things what I'll say. Two things. So he can definitely get the quarterback on the ground. And so, most people, that's not an issue. If you can do that, if you have more talent, we can overlook certain things if you're talented. And that goes through all walks of life. Now, what I will say, though, about him deleting the tweets or, he made the tweets, whatever, I would say two things about that. I would say the first thing is that people do, when you're younger, you do make silly statements and you make silly things. Yep. And you say silly things and you put it out there on the internet that they're to live forever. Because you may not think it at the time. You may not think it has any consequences. Stuff that you spout, right? And you're doing it for clicks and likes and right. Which is fine. This is the culture that we're in right now. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but we live in a like culture, and everyone wants likes and and retweets and, get your followers up and all that stuff. So, I mean, I understand that. So you may say some outlandish shit sometimes.
Sure.
But maybe him being young, someone older got to him and said, hey, look, man, the things that you said, and that's not necessarily jive. And this is what you're entering right now is a business, right?
That's right.
And, when you're a professional, sometimes you have to do things a different way, all of our young professionals out there right now, when you enter the corporate world, you may have to dress a little differently. You may have to cut your hair, not because that's what you want to do, but unfortunately, these are the rules of engagement in order for you to get paid.
Sure. that'll make your ears perk up. Change your habits.
Yeah, and
sure.
So in this particular instance, these are just the rules of engagement for you to get paid. You may take down some things you might not necessarily, take down some things you may not necessarily believe, or you may change some things about how you approach things. That's fine, man. I have no problems about it. So the more I talk through this, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was just young and made some silly mistakes and said some off the cuff remarks. Fine, whatever. If this continues, I mean, you're 26 or 27, and this is how you feel. Hey, man, that's how you feel. I just won't rock with you like that.
Well, I have to say this, and I feel that too. I think you can be free to feel how you want to about this, but I'll say this. With Bosa in his statement, first of all, you're free to love the president. I have no problem with that. That speaks about who you are and how you do your politics. That's fine. But what I don't want to see happen is see the community, see the country, see those who are champions for Kaepernick become that which they most despise, which are people who would berate and put down Kaepernick. So putting down Bosa, disrespecting him based on his political beliefs and ideology, I think is a mistake, and also it reveals the character of those who would judge him on that. He's more than that, and he'll grow, hopefully, into more than that. That's the confidence you have to have, I believe, as a human trying to make the world a more better and effective place for life, which I know not everybody cares about that, but I do. And so I wanted to see him have an opportunity, young man. Hopefully he grows, and that doesn't mean grows out of the Republican Party or grows out of loving Donald Trump, but just grows as an open-minded person, you know, ready for business and ready to be an ambassador, not just for his football team, but for his family and hopefully the community. These are hopeful wishes for him, you know, but I would give him the benefit of the doubt. He's maybe 22 years old, maybe. I don't know how old he is. Young man.
Yeah, he is a young man. So, Jose, that was well said. And I believe that may believe that may conclude our cast for this evening. What is this, number 7, number 8 that we've done thus far?
Well, this is number 3 for the official season, and our 8th, including our pre-production and our pilots. Yeah,
there you go.
Number 3.
There you go.
You know, I wish you would shut the hell up sometime. You know, we can't get through this many podcasts ever. We're always pushing it. We can't stop. We can't stop.
We thought we got out here at a good time. I thought we did pretty good this time. So
we're doing great. I'm enjoying. We're getting good reviews. We thank everybody who's listening to the Homeboy Sports Network, and keep tuning in. Send us any of your, preferred subject matter, topics, things we can cover, because we can go back into the decades of sports and do specials on Mike Singletary or Joe Montana or Magic Johnson. We can do a show just on a player or a series, and we'd love to do that. So hit us up. Mike, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on, where can you find me? You can find me on Instagram at Mikel, MIKEL_A_John. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at Mikel A_A_John as well. So that's where I'm at.
All right. Find me at LuvaJ, LUVVAJ on Instagram, Twitter, and LuvaJ on Facebook as well. And this is the Homeboy Sports Network presented by Active. We're going to be back next week. Mike, any final words?
No, man. I'm going to sit up here and we'll watch this game real quick.
What's the score right now?
It's going to be a late one. You know, Jose, I thought that I was going to get some rest this playoff season because the Lakers aren't going to be on.
The Lakers ain't playing?
I know, but
we have no worries. We're depressed.
Now the Clippers are fucking around and making this series interesting, and I got to check it out, man. So, but that may be in bed by halftime because this looks like it's about to be a blowout. They're up by 17 right now. It doesn't look like there are any signs of slowing down. Although this Denver San Antonio game, that's close.
Hey, tell me, man.
Why they do this? You know, I got a quick rant about the NBA.
We can't. Wait a minute. I told these people we can't stop. Go on. What you got?
One last thing. Quick rant about the NBA. Why are you guys putting games on NBA TV? You know everyone doesn't get NBA TV.
That's a good question.
And
they really
not only that,
pull your teeth into subscribing to NBA TV.
And not only that, if you have bought the NBA League Pass, you should get NBA TV. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And I purchased NBA League Pass this year, and I missed about 10 Lakers games because of NBA or some games, and I wanted to watch because of NBA TV. Isn't it all one and the same? My Lord. Anyway, that's my quick rant about.
Well, wait a minute. So explain to the listeners what happens if they play it on NBA TV. Does it cancel out the other broadcasts or what?
Yeah, it cancels out the other broadcasts. So what happens is if the game you want, so I subscribe to the League Pass, NBA League Pass, right? So I can check out any game that I want to check out. But what happens is if your team or the game that you want to watch happens to fall on NBA TV, you can't get it until 3 hours after the game ends, which is bonkers to me.
Wow.
I don't
monopolizing.
Yeah, and I refuse to buy them to put another subscription on my television right now.
That's straight out of the office of approval from Adam Silver, I'm sure, and the broadcasting chiefs over there at NBA TV.
Yeah, but isn't it all one and the same? You're already getting me for $200 on the league pass, and now you want me to fork out another.
Whoa, this is America, cuz. It ain't never enough.
Another $850 on the league. Man, and you just can't get. You gotta bump up your whole bundle.
Yeah, that ain't never enough. You got enough.
Okay.
Enough? Ain't never enough. I'm an older man who love all women, okay?
Yeah.
We ain't talking about it. Never enough. They're trying to get it all, okay?
What you say? Well,
if you're going to play.
Wait, who is that from? All older men who knows that?
Scales. That's from R. Kelly. Public.
I didn't hold nobody.
I ain't heard nobody. Hey, that's enough of us. This is sports news and views with attitude.
I could really go on about pop culture right now.
We got to
oh my God.
You gonna send us over the edge over here tonight.
Yeah, don't.
We appreciate y'all.
Don't get me started.
Once again, for Mike Johnson, it's your homeboy Lover J. This is the Homeboy Sports Network, presented by Active Sports News and Views with an Attitude. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace.
We out.
Put him on his back and let him know what's happening.